All right, welcome back to Life Fit with DVD. Thanks for being here. Today, I wanted to talk about inner alchemy and how to transmute the chaos into the unshakable calm. So, I mean, you know the state of the world right now. The news cycle is relentless, feels like the world is on fire. Uh, Everything just feels completely out of control, right? The social media is a battleground. Personal life feels unstable, uncertain, and it's easy to feel like a leaf tossed into a hurricane, and completely at the mercy of the external chaos. Um, but what if you could build your own inner sanctuary, a little bit stronger, right? So that no storm, no social media, no external burning, destruction, chaos can really shake it, right? This isn't about escaping the world, it's really the ancient practice of inner alchemy. And transmuting it, can lead you from fear to just golden resilience. So, what is inner alchemy, right? This is the philosopher's stone of your mind, right? The core metaphor here is that ancient alchemists sought to turn lead into gold, and the real secret was that the lead was their own base nature, right? The fear, the ignorance, the attachment to things. The gold was the spiritual enlightenment, and the philosopher's stone was their own disciplined consciousness. Right, so the modern application here is that inner alchemy is the conscious process of taking a challenging, heavy emotion or circumstance, right, the lead, and using your own awareness to transform its energy into something of higher value, the gold, right? So the goal here is not to become numb or to avoid the negative feelings, that you're experiencing, but to develop the capacity to hold them, learn from them, and then allow them to fuel your growth instead of your destruction. So now you might be asking, well, okay, like how do we do that? All right, so there are 3 stages of inner alchemy. So this is the practical process, right? So stage 1 is the Negrado, the blackening or the awareness and surrender. So this is the first step to acknowledge the lead, right? Acknowledge that you have a lot of negative emotions, that you're getting worked up over whatever is going on. And you must face the shadow. Like you have to look at that chaos and take the fear head on without avoiding it. So I mean, if you find it important to look out and be knowledgeable of the world, right? This is looking at the world, but not letting those events, those things get you outraged. Look at them practically, right? That this is just something that's happening, right? It may affect you, it may not affect you, but the important thing is to detach from the emotional charge around that. And I know that's easier said than done. But so when anxiety or anger arises, instead of reacting or suppressing, simply name it, right? This is fear, this is anxiety, this is anger, this is overwhelm, right? You allow yourself to feel the full weight of the emotion and do that as much as possible without judging it. This is the blackening, the honest acknowledgement of the raw material you're working with here. So, the stage 2 is the albedo, the whitening or the separation and insight. So once you've acknowledged this emotion, right, you separate yourself from it. You realize, I am not this anger. I am not this overwhelm. I'm the one experiencing the anger, right? The key here is to be objective in a detached way where you are simply the observer of yourself. And this is where the consciousness part really comes into play here, because the more aware that you can be of just being objective and observing yourself, the more you will be able to detach from it and name it and realize that you are not these things, right? This creates the space between the stimulus and then your own response or, well, reaction to it that you want to move to response. So the practice here is ask the emotion, what is this trying to teach me right now? What is the pain protecting me from? This stage is about gaining insight. The whitening is the light of consciousness, conscious understanding being shown on the darkness, or the things that you don't want to look at. And when you can start to detach from the negative your emotions you're experiencing, it's like a light switch flips that you will begin to able to separate from it. So the stage 3 here is the robido, the reddening or the transmutation and action. And this is the final stage where your insight is integrated and transformed into purposeful action. Right? The energy of the base emotion is now redirected towards something else. So what this can look like is anxiety about the future being transmuted into focused preparation. That righteous anger about some injustice is then transmuted into, calm, strategic action, towards something that is productive. So the fear of loss is transmuted into a deeper gratitude for the present moment, right? Appreciating what you have in the now as opposed to the fear of what you could be losing. And ultimately, this reddening is the glow of embodied wisdom and renewed vitality, because you're taking that negativity, right? Naming it, separating from it, and then redirecting that consciousness towards something productive that will help you feel like you are in more control, right? And this is an internal process, right? This is being able to see the world, but also being able to have that control and discipline to go within and make sense of it, right? To be what's the word? Not discretionary, but discerning of these emotions, of these things that you're being seen, because ultimately in all of this, right, when we look out at the world, right, with AI coming up, with the all of this technology that we now have, all of these things that we feel like we need to keep up with, right? We really don't know what is going on, right? So many things that we see, right, that are mainstream, or even even in alternative media, it's echoes of the mainstream. We have no idea what is real and what is not. We really don't. And with AI being almost indistinguishable from reality at this point, it is more important than ever to be able to name these things and use this inner alchemy to be able to transmute things, be able to transmute your energy into a productive process instead of just getting caught up and washed away in these things that we really don't know what the truth is. The truth starts in here, right? What feels true for you? Now, it's important to be grounded in that, be grounded in what the truth is with the people around you as well. But even that is not foolproof. So a lot of these things come down to you and what feels right, what feels good. So ultimately, in all of this, right, you need to have a daily practice, right? So this is all, often the crucible of stillness, right? Meditating, contemplating, journaling. You need a daily practice of silence to observe the contents of your mind without getting, washed away in them. This is your laboratory, right? sitting down, being peaceful, this is where you get stuff done. Journaling, of course, as the scroll of reflection, right? You can do this, digitally on, a digital journal, but I recommend doing it in a physical one, right? Because that process allows you to slow down, right? Reread it, and this is where you reflect your negrado. You get out those negative emotions, your fears, frustrations, then engage in that albedo, right? Writing the answers to the issues that you have, that you're caught up in. And then, what is the lesson here? Finally, commit to that one small rubido action. What is the one small step that you can take towards transmuting it? So, conscious energy management. What you consume, news, media, food. This is your prima materia, your base material. Right? Be intentional. Feed your mind high quality fuel. And if you are scrolling, doom scrolling, get in the habit of catching yourself, right? If you start feeling negative things towards what you're seeing, right? Just shut it down, right? Just put it away and know that the algorithm wants you to experience that. It wants to disconnect you from your own conscious mind, yourself. And the more you can do this more and more, the more you'll realize that you don't even need it. That you don't even need the social media. And, ultimately it's just that distraction that your mind is used to try to forget about the negativity. Where, the better process here is that inner alchemy, getting in, looking at it, and then you'll be able to generate that peace better, right? So the body is your vessel, right? Chaos in your mind creates tension in your body. Transmute that stuck energy through breath work, exercise. This is how you get your nervous system to calm down. You can do cold exposure to build resilience. There's lots of different ways, and you can go through past videos that I have to go through some of that. They're everywhere. There's content everywhere. So in conclusion, right, becoming an unshakable center, right? This is the outer world will always have chaos, but you are not powerless. If it feels like the world is happening to you, stop yourself and know that it is not, right? It is you, right? It is all in your mind. You have within you the ability to be that alchemist of your own experience every moment of the fear, the overwhelm. It's not a setback, right? When you do experience these things, it's that material that needs to be transformed with strength and awareness that will not just allow you to survive, but start to overcome all of these things and thrive, lead, and inspire in, this chaos. And it's quite a beautiful thing. So your peace is not dependent on external circumstances. It is forged in the fires of your own awareness. So, what is that one piece of lead that, these emotions that you feel over and over again, right? Look at it. Where do you think this is coming from? Name it. Name what you're feeling. Journal it. Just get in the habit of hijacking your mind when it gets into these emotional states. So, what do you want to alchemize this week? What do you want to change? Let me know in the comments, because writing an intention down there is always a productive action for you taking a step in the right direction. So, if you resonated with this message, like or subscribe if you enjoyed it. And thanks for being here. And goodbye for now.